Hey everybody, it's Darrell, and I am broadcasting from the road today. By the way, is that not cool how the reflection of that tree shows up in the glass here in the window here at our famous local coffee shop? Anyhow, thanks for being with us today. That's one of the things about the Back 40 is you can be on the road sometime, and thank God for technology. So anyhow, I'm going to speak a little bit softer than I usually would, and I'm going to look at the lens too, so you can see that I'm looking at you. Anyhow, what we're here for in the Back 40 every week is just to support you and us in having our second half as our best half. And Back 40 is based on two premises. Number one, like Frank Sinatra sings, the best is yet to come and they want to be fine. And also our absolute conviction that you have yet to do what you came here to do. And so that's what we're committed to. We know that we haven't done what we came here to do yet, and we're on board for that. And we want to support you to realize that no matter what you've done, and we know there's lots of accomplished, smart, very intelligent, sophisticated people who are joining our movement and our community. And it doesn't matter. Whatever you've done before, it's simply been R&D. It's simply been research and development for what you have yet to do, which is your greatest work. So anyhow, I'll probably keep today a little bit shorter because I'm not plugged in. And hey, if you know what PCs are like versus you Mac folks, we need an outlet. So let's just jump right in onto what today is about. Oh, but before we get going, I do want to share. I've been sharing this the last couple of weeks since we did this really great interview. If you look down at the bottom, we did this great interview about a month ago with Karen Glasser, Spark It Network. Really recommend that you go look at it. Alexandra and I had the opportunity to share with Karen what Back 40 is all about for us and for those who are participating and joining this community. Also, we have a couple ebooks out as well. Birth of the Back 40, giving my story of how the Back 40 came to me and how that mentality came into my mind, as well as stories in crisis or opportunity. In that book, you have a lot of stories of people rising from midlife, phoenix to ashes kind of stories. Really great, inspiring stuff. So I invite you to go check it out. And let's just go back to what we're talking about today. If you get my email that comes out at 10 o'clock Pacific time on Wednesdays, you see that the topic today was Undercover Talents. And this is a great quote. I think it really starts to hit at what we're talking about today. You know, so doing easily what others find difficult is talent. Doing what is impossible with talent is genius. And so, what do we, there may be some of you right now that are thinking, well, what's he talking about? He's talking about, things that I'm just good at, and, why even talk about that? Well, I think that whatever that resistance to even engaging in this idea is, could be related to the fact that we just don't take the time. We don't take the time to really look at what are our they're so natural. We're so good at it. It's so easy that we don't even really recognize these gifts and talents. It may not be something we necessarily were even ever trained in or went to school for, but just things that we picked up in life. I was talking to a minister yesterday, and I write his blurb for him for his congregational talks each week, and so he'll send me his topic, and within 30 seconds or a minute, I've written this real great promotional blurb. And what he said the other day was it would take him hours and it would be like putting needles in his eyes. And I don't even think about it. And again, I'm not saying this to tout me or my particular things that I'm good at, but I say that there are certain things that we take for granted, things that just kind of blend into the wallpaper of our life. And it's interesting. I've been brought into companies to do 360-degree evaluations for their executives that are problem children, right? Very valuable people, valuable with their talent, what they bring to the organization, and yet there's some issues. And what I always find is that when we do a 360 and there's awareness, it actually starts the transformation when they actually realize the impact that they have on people. And I've often wondered, well, wouldn't it be smart for all of us to do 360s on ourselves to find out, well, what are those things that do work about us that we just maybe don't even notice? And one of the things about the Back 40 and doing what you came here to do is we do some inventories. Actually, in our Infuse program, we do some inventories, unique inventories, that have us look at and discover, what are those aspects of ourselves that maybe we've picked up in life that we're just not even aware of, that just comes so naturally. And so I think it's a great thing for all of us to look at what comes easy that might just be so difficult for others. What are those aspects of us that are kind of blended into the wallpaper of our life? So a couple of things interesting ideas to consider around this. Like I said, corporate 360s are generally called for when there's problems or problem children. Wouldn't it be great for us to look at not what doesn't work, but what is it that does work? In the Back 40, 7 Critical Embraces for Life's Radical Second Half, the book will be coming out this next year. There's actually a process in there, kind of a personal 360 process that I did myself years ago that really can wake you up to an awareness of who you be and what you do that, you just can't see those things yourself. We usually have to have somebody hold a mirror up to even see the nose on our face. And so just consider there's blind spots. There's blind spots to our ways of being and our ways of doing things that really work well. Maybe it's the way you make people feel. There are just some people I know that whenever I get around them, there's just a comfort level. Now, I don't know if they are aware that they put that out, but I think if we are someone that makes people feel, one of the things we want to always be building in the Back 40 is our awareness of our gifts and talents and our self-esteem. Step of life that could, beat us in the head in terms of self-esteem, but we have a whole process of really looking at the first half. It's just R&D anyhow, research and development for what we came here to do. But self-esteem is something we definitely always want to be developing if we're going to take on doing what we came here to do. And there's certain things that you do without thought. They just seem easy. You don't even think about them. And it'd be, funny for me to say, okay, so this week your assignment is go see the things that you don't think about. So you won't be able to do it yourself. It will take some support. So we're going to ask you to find a buddy this week to explore this. So, just consider that a big game Back 40 future, doing what you came here to do, is going to require full, awake awareness of your gifts and talents. In our program, the Back 40 INFUSE program, we have this huge cadre of non-traditional ways to look at your gifts and talents. Multiple different ways to see yourself from different perspectives. Just a couple of them that I'll share here. One of them is things you do better than the average Joe. Now, you when you're good at something, you and somebody acknowledges you for it, for the most part, most people just like, oh, it's nothing, no big deal, because you operate like everybody can do it that way. Well, everybody can't do it the way you do it. And there's things that you just picked up through your life experience, through different schools. Maybe you learned some skills in schools, but maybe you've been to the school of hard knocks, or maybe you've been to the school of life, and you picked up some things that you just do naturally, and you do them better than the average Joe. Also, there's things you do that give you juice. That's an acronym we use in our Infuse program, which basically talks about the zone. I'm sure everybody watching this has experienced the zone at some point where time just disappears and you're just so connected. We call it a period of joy unification, where individual connects to the eternal. It's just like you're gone and something beyond you is there. And these are just a couple ways, a couple of the exercises that we do in our Infuse program to get people really aware, because we say that in moving into a second half, best half of life, where you're going to do what you came here to do, an inventory, a real good inventory of this week. We'll take and supporting each other in creativity and career and relationships and all that's in your first half. We say the first half is just R&D for what you really came here to do. So get a buddy. We want you to be out of your mind and out of your assessments so that you can actually get some objective viewpoints on yourself this week. List out 10 people who know you well, who you'll interview. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to sit down and do some formal thing. You might just take them to coffee, or you may just give them a call. So keep it easy. But come up with 10 people that know you well, who you'll interview this week, and talk to your buddy about when you're going to do your reach outs. Because I guarantee you, if you come up with your list and you don't put a time to it, it just won't get done. And then go out and reach out. Reach out and interview the people on your list. But here's the deal. We want to tell them that we only have one intention. So the one intention is to find out if, not even if, just to find out what do they see as your greatest gifts and talents. That you're doing just a little exercise and you're thinking that there may be things that you do well or ways that you be that you may not be aware of. And so you're just playing a little game to see what they see. Make sure that they are clear. You're not asking them for ways for you to improve. Okay? We can deal with that in our program. There's a great way you can handle that with the 360 that we advocate in our Infuse program. But right now, you got one intention, and ask them what they see as far as gifts and talents that you may not see. And then follow up with your buddy. Follow up with your buddy, because again, it won't happen if you don't have support and have someone to check in with around this. Post what you see on the Facebook community, and share with us what you see out of this. I'll share with you just one more little quote here from Leo Buscaglia, which I think is just great. I'd heard this for so many years, but didn't know where it came from. Your talent is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift back to God. And if you're going to do everything you can do with it, it means you've got to be aware of it. So this week, let's just play a game of becoming aware of what we're natural at, that we're good at. And, we'll take all the self-esteem we can get in building ourselves up for what we really came here to do. So that's it for this week. And just take one more look at this reflection, and then just couldn't have made that any more beautiful. Looks like something out of Wizard of Oz. So have a radical week, and we will look forward to seeing you next week. And be awesome with what you know and what you don't know. Find out what you don't know about how awesome you are. Have a great week.